live on YouTube. Let's start recording. And then let's get the share going. Where is this one? Right. All right. Let's get rolling. Hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Vinny D'Amato, Chair of the BU Student Government Senate. Welcome to Senate 22. Today is April 12th, 2021. As always, we are going to start off with roll call. So, and also just a reminder for the question this week. If you could take 3 things to a deserted island with you, what would you take and why? And to answer this, we got Evan, Hassan, Jaylene, and Brianna. So starting off from the top, Savannah Majarowitz.
Present.
Evan Teplinski.
Present. I would take a boyfriend, a train to get out of there, and music.
Companionship and music and a train. You know what? I support. Achilles Stone.
Here.
Proxy for Bella Noel.
Present, and that's Jess.
Dhruv Kapadia.
Here.
Hassan Faruqi.
Present. And if I were on a deserted island, I would probably bring a boat because the whole idea of an island is that it's surrounded by water. So, I mean, there could be bridges, but if there's a bridge to the island, then it wouldn't be deserted, right? But I would also bring a water purifier, and I would bring like a knife. Got to hunt, got to cut some fruit open. I've seen the movie Castaway, so I'll be prepared.
Don will have a knife and a Brita filter with him. Janez James.
Present.
Jessica Zhang.
Present.
Spencer Kwan.
Present.
Lauren Hagee. Lauren Hagee.
She's not here.
Navia Katuru.
Present.
Shahaf Dan.
Present.
Suli Moowo.
Present.
Vivian Dai.
Present.
Sum Yu Guan.
Here.
Brandon Yu.
Here.
Brandon. Richard Siegelman.
Present.
William Harrison.
Present.
Amanda Schneider.
Present.
Olivia Herr.
Present.
Sophie Jin.
Present.
Owen Kelly.
Present.
Proxy for Maha Noor.
Present.
Shireen Bakri, I believe, is absent. Cassie Balboa.
Present.
Joanna Shie.
Present.
Noah Greif.
Here.
Amy Luo.
Present.
Michael Leone.
Present.
Jamie Ramirez.
Present. And the 3 things I would take are probably a boat, some fuel to leave the island, and some makeup because I'm going to make sure I look good when I'm leaving the island. So those are my 3 things.
I really feel like at this point I should have specified that y'all can't bring a boat or a train. Selena Chen.
Present.
Natalie Kasliwal.
Here.
Jay Haljan.
Present.
Brianna Cole.
Present, and I would probably bring a knife, fishing line so I can fish, create snares, a bow, all that jazz, and then some like writing supplies so the weight doesn't drive me insane. I've watched enough Survivor and stuff like that. So.
Nice journal and a multi-use fishing line. Not bad. Mehar or proxy for Mehar Hora.
That'd be me as well.
John Michael Aracena,
Here.
Isabella Townsend,
Present.
Sammy Casas,
Present.
Celine Machin,
Present.
Jana Evans,
Present.
Keely Massini,
Present.
and last but not least, Juliana Torres.
Here.
All right. So with that, we are missing 2. That puts us at 40 votes today, which is 27 for a supermajority and 21 for a simple. Let me just write that down. All right. So going into the agenda for tonight, we're going to start off with the president's address first, followed by the Senate chair elections, the cabinet update, big update, MHC resolution 18, and then open forum. So, Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Glad to see Vinny and Shashi in a new location today, and glad to see you all on a typical nice Monday. Hope the end of your semester is wrapping up very, very well. I have a bunch of updates, so I'm going to get straight to it. So last week I had sent a document for, the F Won't Cut It questions that you have. Dean B had reported to me he's still working on getting some answers to it. I should be able to email you all with the answers to that sometime this week. I just don't have much to report on that right now. Next thing, I had sent an email to all of you regarding the end of year celebration, which will be taking place on April 22nd at 6 p.m. I'm going to send the Eventbrite to Vinny. Vinny, I have a couple links coming to you right now. So please register for this. If you're going to be in person, there's about 40 spots. If you're going to be virtual, there's unlimited spots. However, everyone is going to get a meal, which will be great. So please register. If you want to grab a meal, please, please, please do that before this Thursday. The Eventbrite will take you about 2 minutes. Then the next thing, senior accords. So to all the seniors, if you are graduating, please fill out this form. Vinny, I'll also send it to you. And please fill out this form. It's just asking for your name. And if you want a graduation cord, it'll take you maybe 5 seconds too. But if you know any other seniors in student government, please have them fill that out. Naya had sent that out to you guys as well. The next thing, so today's the last day to apply to be a justice. Here's the application. Vinny, sorry, pumping these out. But here's the application. Please apply if you're interested. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of the current justices along with our Chief Justice, Andrea. Yeah, today is the last day to apply. And then the last form I have for you all is the student government merch. So we have merch, plenty of them in the student government office now. I checked yesterday, there's still plenty there. So Naya will be in the student government office for the next couple of weeks, every Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday after 7 p.m. So if you're looking to get it from her, please feel free to shoot her a text message, Slack message, or email sgvpia@bu.edu with any questions. If you're remote, that is the Google form to, did I send the right one? Let's make sure. Yep, that is the Google form for which we can send you your sweater to your home, apartment, or wherever you are currently located. Then my last update is that all inquiries regarding social advocacy, David is supposed to be presenting on behalf of social advocacy tonight, but he can't make it. I think he's in an exam. But all inquiries, please feel free to message David from now on for the next 2 weeks or so. If you can email him, Slack him, text him, call him, Instagram, DM him, whatever you like. David shall be the point person for that. And then before I finish here, I know we have one more Senate left, but I do want to emphasize this now. I do want to thank each of you for your hard work, dedication, and a lot of commitment towards student government. I know this is the first full year that we've been working on Zoom as a Senate. It's ran very smoothly. And that's props to all of you. And yeah, I'm super excited to see the work we continue here, but I do want to just say thank you. So back to you, Vinny, or I'll take any questions someone might have.
Well, thank you, Oliver, for that. And also, again, I echo what Oliver says, and thank you all for everything that you've
We have one question.
done this year. Yes, we do have one question. Senator Topolsky.
Yes. The responses that we get from Dean Battolino, are we allowed to share them with our constituents?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that. I'm gonna try to get it on all those in writing, so it's very easy for you to just relay. And back to you, Vinny.
All right, thank you. And again, everyone, thank you. And please pick up your stuff from the StuGov office if you're on campus. I'm also going to put out there if you want a limited edition Oliver Poor sweatshirt, there are a ton of them in the office as well. All right, moving on to the next point in the agenda, Senate chair elections. All right, so the way we're going to do this is we have our candidate, Shashwat Shah. He's going to give a speech up to 5 minutes. You guys will have 10 minutes to ask him any questions, after which point I will put him into a breakout room. Any discussions that need to be had alone will happen here. And then eventually we will have the vote and we'll bring him back in afterwards. So, Mr. Shah, the floor is yours. I will stop sharing now so you can get everyone's attention.
Great. All right. Thanks, Vinny. Yeah, so good evening, everybody. I just wanted to start out. I know we've had some new senators who I might not have gotten around to formally introducing myself. I'm Shashwat Shah. Most of you know me as Shashi. I'm a junior in the College of Arts and Sciences, studying neuroscience on the pre-med track. And for the past year, I've served as the vice chair for the Senate. Before I jump in, I wanted to just start out by thanking all of the senators for this past year. Despite all of the rough patches and long meetings, I have thoroughly enjoyed being a part of Senate and being able to be your vice chair this year. And I've learned a lot from working with a whole bunch of senators, people on e-board and judicial, and it's been a great experience. And this year has really shown me the potential that Senate has, even beyond right now, for being an incredible vehicle for change at BU. And I really hope that I'll be able to work with some of you next year to bring that potential into fruition. So over the next few minutes, I hope to provide you with a better understanding for the vision I have for Senate and how I want to fill the role of chair. I want to note, I'm not going to cover all of the specific ideas and actions that I had in my platform packet. But if you have questions about that, I'd love to answer them afterwards. And so, yeah, so just jumping in. Our current student government was founded in the state that it is right now, almost a half a century ago, which is wild to think about, as a representative body to have a place to give every single student at BU a voice. Today, BU is home to almost 17,000 undergraduate students from about 100 and I forgot how many countries all over the world. They're a part of 17 different schools and colleges. We have 300 different programs that they study in, and they're a part of over 450 student organizations. And all of that is just to say that we have an incredibly diverse constituency, that Senate is the core of their voice. And we are there across the entire university. We are the body that is supposed to advocate on behalf of them and represent the changes that they want to see. And no other organization on campus really has the tools and the resources that Senate has and can wield to be their last line of defense and their largest advocates. And we've seen a lot of that this year. But for us to fully assume that responsibility, I think we also need to take a step back and adjust some of our strategies as an organization. We need to, in my mind, we need to switch our focus from all being reactive to all of the issues on campus, not stop doing that, which it's a huge tool for students, and we've seen the power that it has this year. But I think we need to also start focusing on being extremely proactive in what we do, and going around and looking for what the issues are on campus, instead of just waiting until students bring them or bring them to us, and then taking those issues and coming up with solutions, and then approaching admin and being like, hey, we have these solutions. These are the problems we've seen. Here are the solutions. Let's sit down and let's work it out. And as chair, I want to create an environment, reach out to the different groups and make all of the different connections that y'all as senators need to execute that and to bring forward the change that all of you have talked about throughout this entire year, and as many of you have done for the past 2 or 3 years in your time in StuGov. So one of my main goals next year as chair is to work with the student body and administration to position ourselves to be like a permanent player at the decision-making tables, or in other words, to be in the room where it happens. And I'm sorry I had to use that line, but I really just wanted to fit a Hamilton reference into this entire speech. So yeah, sorry about that. And another thing I really want to focus on in chair is expanding the presence of Senate on campus. The unfortunate reality is that of the 17,000 students, most of them don't really know what Senate is or don't know what we do. And that's something that we really need to change. And that's something that I want to work to change quickly, to get widespread outreach on campus so that we can figure out some of the issues that aren't really being discussed that students are still facing. And on top of that, gain a large body of students behind us so that when we go to admin, they know that they have to sit down, they have to listen to us. And we've seen the power of a large group of students standing up and telling admin, all right, enough's enough this year. We've seen that we can get them to the table and get them to start having conversations. And I want to help grow on that. And I've outlined some of the stuff that I want to do as chair in my packet as well. And I don't want to ramble to you guys too much. So just to wrap up, one final goal that I want to leave this office next year having accomplished is to set up Senate as an institution with a clear mission and operating system, which is going to be here beyond all of our times, because Senate is not just the students that run it. We are simply serving in this institution. Senate needs to stand up and be the vehicle for change on campus 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road without having to fix itself or without having to go through and reevaluate itself all the time. And so, yeah, thank you for your time. Sorry if I rambled, and thank you for your consideration. And I yield the rest of my time to the chair.
Thank you, Mr. Shah. All right, I'm going to now open it up to an initial 10-minute Q&A period. If anyone has any questions, as always, please raise your hand in the chat and I will call on you. Senator Teplensky.
Hi, Vice Chair Shashi. So I have a few questions. I'll just start with a very simple one. Currently, a lot of senators do not know, do not understand, and have historically not liked Robert's rule. Would you be open to switching it to a different procedure, such as parliamentary?
Thanks for the question, Evan, or Senator Teplensky. I know we've talked about it. And yeah, I mean, over the summer, if this is a platform where senators feel like they're not, they're having trouble either navigating the structure of it or that certain changes need to be made to what we abide by in Robert's rules, I'd love to get together with a group of senators and rules committee and talk about that and explore that, because whatever needs to be done for Senate to operate efficiently, I'm open to talking about and looking for a solution.
Point of clarification, is that a yes or no? Or is that a I'll think about?
I don't know if Parley Pro is the best solution, but it is a yes to definitely talking about it and figuring out what the best solution is. That I promise.
Thank you.
Senator Mazurowicz.
Hi, my question is mainly centered on how you plan to connect committees more to Senate. I see a lot in your platform about keeping updates about what committees are working on. But after talking with a few other committee co-chairs, I realized I have the added privilege of being both a co-chair and a senator. So I know how things work for the most part in terms of writing resolutions, bringing guest speakers, etc. like that. So I really am just curious to know how you plan to integrate the committees to Senate more so.
Yeah, so there's two sort of paths that I want to go down for this. One is, they both involve me as chair. So one is over the summer, I want to put together a packet of information that can go out to all students, but also one that's tailored for committees for what you talked about, for resolutions, how to bring in a speaker, putting together presentations, what different, what different funding requests should look like, a template that they can follow for that. So that's one route. And then the other thing that I want to do is increase how much I am communicating with the committees themselves, in terms of if that means for committees more meetings, or if that means more like written back and forths on what they're working on, and reports that they want to give to the Senate itself. Just increasing communications between myself as the chair and the committees, so that they can then go into the Senate when they feel like they want to go in and address the entire Senate themselves.
Senator Faruqi.
Do you plan to continue the business casual dress code for next year?
For myself, I will be wearing a full suit because I love dressing up in a suit, but I plan on defining it as a button-down shirt, and if you want to wear jeans, you can wear jeans. If it becomes a nuisance, then that's something that, if people start showing up in like sweats all the times, and senators are like, we're not really maintaining the level of professionalism, and somebody approaches with that, then I'll reconsider it. But I would want to redefine it as button-down shirt, nice shirt, and jeans, nice pair of shoes. Nothing too wild. If you want to join me in wearing a suit, more than welcome to. But yeah.
I will, yeah.
Senator Topolsky.
I will not. But my next question is, you mentioned, and I know in your platform, with regards to senators being more proactive, taking on more projects. My question is more tangible steps for how you plan for that, and how we find senators that aren't just doing it for their resume.
Okay, so to be perfectly honest with the last point that you made, the way it's set up right now is the Senate chair I will work as much as I can with all of the college governments to ensure that, and try to convey to them that we need senators that are, like you said, doing it to make a change, and they're here to make a change. I'm not going to infringe on the power that's given to college governments in telling them that, okay, I'm just flat out be like, you need to work better to do that. That's the discretion of the college governments. So that's the second part. But as to the first part, in terms of tangible ideas that I have, one is, I think that, well, not I think, I know that committees are doing a lot of great work, and I want to try to get, especially new senators that don't really know what committees are, try to steer them towards working on committees. And outside of that, to try to get senators more active, I have an idea for that I floated before to you guys as well, and I really want to push forward with, which is town halls, to get senators to connect to their constituents more, and also from that, get a lot more ideas that senators might hear, pick up an idea on, and I'll work with them to, if it's a resolution, or point them to the resources if they have questions about who they should talk to get more proactive work out of Senate. I hope that answered your question.
Senator Zhang.
This is a question from Senator Evans, but her laptop's having issues. So she wants to know what's something that you've learned this year in your position as vice chair. Sorry, to clarify, for your future possible position as Senate chair.
One thing, so the biggest thing I learned is how much outreach needs to be done on the side of the Senate chair. And I think this was really highlighted because of how difficult it is to get like students together. Everybody's burnt out. Nobody wants to sit in front of a screen. But I really learned that in the beginning of the semester as chair, I need to take it on myself to reach out to student organizations, reach out to SAO and be like, all right, can you get me a list of contacts for student organizations so I can make myself available to them through office hours, reaching out directly to them in the beginning of the semester through emails. So yeah, that outreach is probably what I learned most.
Senator Topolsky.
Yes, I have a few more questions. I really love this question. and I think that it's been overlooked. But why do you want to be Senate Chair?
So to do that, I have to go back to freshman year. Freshman year, I had come out of being involved in student government for all of my years in high school. And I applied to be a CAS senator, in fact. And I didn't get the position. And so I was really bummed out because for all of my high school career, the most important thing to me was making a proactive change in the community. And for well, community being my fellow students. And I was bummed out because I couldn't get the senator position. Sophomore year, I was overloading classes. I couldn't actually give the time that the position would require to be a senator. And then over the summer, junior year, I saw that there was a post on the StuGov Instagram story that vice chair applications were open. And I applied. I'm like, you know, I have more time and this is something that I've regretted not being able to do. And so I applied for the position. And lo and behold, I got it. And this year, I'm gonna be honest, this year I didn't know if I was going to continue through student government. At the beginning of last semester, middle of last semester, I wasn't sure. We all know it's a lot of time. But I saw and I had a conversation with a couple of my friends in my personal friend group, and they had all pointed out about how they follow StuGov on social media or something, and they knew that eBoard was doing stuff, but they were like, what is Senate doing? What is Senate up to? What are they doing? And as a part of Senate and seeing what's been going on, that burned me a little because I was like, there's a lot of potential. There's 42 hardworking senators who give up all of their time to come and try to make a change at the university. And so after hearing that, I was like, you know, I want to do something that A, puts Senate on the map, and B, also gets these students who feel like they don't have representation outside of eBoard and be like, no, you do. You have these senators that represent you, and you can come to Senate if you have a specific idea, and you could come and present it if you have a solution. And I wanted to be the person that can show people the ropes for that. I was long-winded, I apologize, but yeah.
Senator Merwolo, last point until the 10 minutes has elapsed.
Hi, so you mentioned like a lot about widespread outreach. So I just wanted to know what ideas you had for increasing visibility of Senate.
Yeah, so starting with over the summer, actually, one thing I want to do is work with our Madam President-elect, who I see is in this meeting, to do direct outreach at every single one of the orientation events that are going to be taking place, and plug all of student government, and me specifically, I'll be plugging Senate a lot, to get students more aware about what student government is and get a lot more people interested in wanting to be senators, work on committees, so on and so forth. And then for outreach to student organizations in terms of Senate as a resource, I want to reach out directly to them, get a list of organizations from SAO, reach out, make myself available, set up an extra office hour just for them beyond my constitutional requirement to have one for student government. And then the last thing is put together a weekly report that will go out and it will be posted on social media, as well as an end of the month report that will be more detailed describing what the committees are doing, what resolutions have been worked on in the Senate, what ideas have been talked about in the Senate. And that will be open, of course, for any senators to put in their own parts as well and release that to the public.
All right, so with that, the discussion or the Q&A time has initially elapsed. I'm going to lower everyone's hands and open the floor to any points or motions. Senator Zhang.
Motion to extend question, or I guess discussion, by 5 minutes.
Second.
All right, motion is to extend Q&A or discussion by 5 minutes. Please raise your hands if you're wishing to vote in the affirmative, looking for a supermajority here.
Point of inquiry is Q&A, right? Like Shashi will still be.
It's Q&A. It's Q&A.
Sick. Okay. Fine.
For senators proxying for other senators, can you please private message me your vote? I know one of you already has, but the other people, please do that. But we're at supermajority anyways. Although it feels weird to ask the vice chair if we're at a supermajority when he's the current candidate up right now. All right, got a supermajority. Senator Zhang, do you reserve first right to ask the question?
Heck yeah, I do. Okay.
Right,
This
floor is yours.
question is from me and Shayna. Shashi, what kind of culture do you plan to create in Senate next year? How do you expect Senate to feel? And what steps are you going to take to get there?
Okay, so I apologize because this is going to sound cheesy. I don't mean it to be cheesy at all. But like in one word, collaborative. I hope that I can create an environment where senators are working with each other a lot more. Hopefully, get more engagement and working on committees and stuff like that, or outside of Senate to work on resolutions. But even within, they have a lot closer. We have a lot closer knit group so that they can work together a lot better. And to do that, I am hoping, one thing I'm hoping for is in person, we can all see each other's faces and that'll help out. But I'll also set up about a half hour beforehand, before the Senate meeting, and try to get like maybe a couple of snacks and stuff, and people can just get together and talk, get to know each other's senators so that they can build these connections. So when it comes time to work in Senate and when it comes time to work on resolutions and initiatives outside of Senate, you have a lot more people to go to, you feel a lot closer, and it's a lot more of a collaborative environment.
Senator Topolsky.
Hi, just because before I say my question, just because I can't say in discussion because you won't be here, that won't work for CAS just because we have advocacy at that time. But my question is, how do you plan on removing your bias and maintaining that level of professionalism as a Senate chair?
I'll get to your question in one sec. I'll work with CAS to figure out an alternative then. I'll figure something out for that. In terms of removing bias, so having served as vice chair this year, one thing I've learned is while I might have my own, and I've learned how to do this fairly well, I feel, while I might have my own opinions on a particular issue and I might talk about it, with friends outside of this role, outside of Senate, I might have my own opinions on issues. When I come to Senate, I put everything aside because my job as vice chair right now is to help Vinny make sure that you all have the discussions and the debates that you need. And to me, throughout this entire year and going into next year, my opinion is not relevant to that. My focus needs to be on just making sure the decorum of the meeting is maintained and that I'm giving everybody that wants to speak a fair chance to speak, and making sure that if somebody wants to submit a proposal, I'm not judging the proposal. I'm just making sure that they have everything that they need put together so that it can be presented before Senate.
Are there any additional questions? We have 2 minutes. Going once, going twice. All right, and with that, I'm going to close.
Wait. One more question, sorry. Also, hi everyone, this is Shayna. My computer is having technical difficulties, so I'm coming to you through Jess's Zoom. Question for you, Shashi. I just wanted to know, how you plan to engage new, freshman senators, and specifically with turnover rate. The reason why we ask about how Senate feels and why that was an important question to me is because I'm concerned about turnover rate in Senate, and sometimes Senate doesn't always feel like you're doing the work that you could be. So how do you plan to sort of rectify that, specifically with new senators who are active and engaged and who still have hope, that the BU administration will listen to us and such?
Yeah, when you said freshmen, I assume you mean like the new class of senators, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Yeah, so an idea that I have is before we start with Senate, I want to, beyond the orientation that exists for student government, I want to create a separate training. I call it training. It's not going to be formal at all, but it's going to be a place where especially the freshman class of senators can come in and go through, and we can do like a literal walkthrough of a Senate meeting. What happens like if a proposal is on the floor and now the floor is open to motions, what could you possibly do? What does it mean when each thing happens, so that they have an understanding of the procedural part of Senate? But also I want to sit down with them and do a walkthrough of each of the proposals in terms of what you need to have in it. If you're doing a budget request, what do you need to have in a budget request? If you're doing an initiative proposal, what would you need to have? And then outside of that, outside of the actual stuff they could do in Senate, you brought up the administration thing. I have a separate set of ideas for how we can increase communication with the Senate as well. But I'm going to highlight if you have this issue, try reaching out to this person, or if you have this issue, try reaching out to this person, so that they have all of the resources that they need. And that way, when they come to the first Senate meeting, they know what's going on when somebody motions for this a lot better than they might with just a handout for Robert's rules. They know how to write a proposal if they want to write a proposal, and they know who to go to for resources. And then outside of that, I'm going to really encourage each of them. I'll reach out to them, encourage each of them to come to office hours, my office hours, or outside of office hours, just chat the first couple of weeks, so that if they're worried about something, they're confused about something, I can help clear that up.
All right, and with that, the Q&A time has elapsed. I'll open the floor to any motions to extend the Q&A session. If not, I will put Mr. Shah into a breakout room and allow discussion to occur. All right, I will create this now, one breakout room, assign. All right, that should work. All right.
Point of
I believe
inquiry.
he is. Yes.
Will we be still streaming just because that couldn't, he just looked there.
I mean, yeah, but an interesting point.
Point of different inquiry. Are you both in the same room? Because I know at the beginning
Yes,
of the
but
week.
it's separate. I
Okay.
have cameras on, and there's
Okay.
he's sealed by the door.
Shashi's in
I
the
will
inner
stop.
office and Vinny's in the outer office, so they shouldn't be able to hear each other.
I will stop the live